Did you know that 8 out of 10 men believe they've not yet reached their full potential? If you're one of them, this message is for you. My name is David Schofield, and if you're a man who's seeking change, lend me your ears. Over the next 2 minutes, I'm going to reveal to you how a simple framework rooted in 4 fundamental and powerful elements has guided hundreds of men toward accessing their potential. I'll also show you how the same process has transformed these men, equipping them with clarity about their current situation and their potential, from feeling lost and unfulfilled to living lives of meaning and purpose. That sound good? Furthermore, I'm also going to show you how you can gain direct access to this transformative framework for yourself. Start uncovering your potential today without having to navigate the process alone. But who am I? Why should you believe me anyway? Well, simple. I have a proven track record as one of the highest rated men's coaches in the UK. You don't need to take my word for that. Have a look around the website. There's plenty of success stories there for you to look at. But if you'll allow me to summarize a few of those for you. I've personally guided hundreds of men toward their life goals. Collectively, my clients have started dozens of businesses. They've got married, had kids, moved home, and got into great shape. Plus, I've helped them through the tough times. Loss of loved ones, difficult thoughts and feelings, and bad habits, some really bad habits. Life's, of course, a roller coaster, right? What I'm going to show you in a moment is a unique elemental approach to personal mastery that's going to help you with whatever you're going through right now. And nobody else can offer this unique approach in the way that I do. So if you stay with me through the short presentation, I'm going to share with you the exact strategy and tactics I use for myself and with my clients and how we can adapt this approach to guide you. I want you to know that you don't have to try and figure this all out alone. Many people have walked this path ahead of you, including myself. So let's quickly assess where you are at the moment. Does any of this sound like you? Do you feel like you have more capacity and potential than you're accessing right now? Do you want more fulfillment in your work and relationships, perhaps? Or do you seek to be a good example for others? And perhaps you can see other people doing these things well, but you can't figure out how to do it yourself. You're going over all of this, stressing yourself out. Most of all, does it feel like there's some sort of invisible ceiling on your progress? Well, if any of those things sound like you, then I actually have some good news for you, because none of those are the real problem. The real problem is that you lack a clear strategy and tactics to move forward effectively, meeting and overcoming challenges with ease. And that's exactly what I want to give you right now. And once you have this framework, you'll be able to see a problem in your life. You'll be able to address it promptly and move forward with confidence time and time again. Life becomes about learning and growth, not just getting through the day. Not only that, but the people around you will thank you for it. So the one thing I need you to understand right now is when you have a framework like this, everything works. But without it, nothing works. So let's dive in and let me walk you through how this works right now then. First of all, let's talk about what not to do. Now, if you're like most men, there are 3 horrible errors that are killing your potential right now. And I can basically promise you doing at least one of them, if not all 3 at the same time. So the first mistake that kills your potential is to be living someone else's story about who you are. I see this a lot in men, particularly those who've had a strict upbringing. You see, most of our values, beliefs, and assumptions are given to us by parents, school, TV, the culture more broadly. However, because we often don't question the stories we've been taught, we don't really know whether they're any good for us or not. An important note here is if you're one of those people who has strongly rejected some aspects of your upbringing, perhaps your parents were particularly religious, something like that, but without deeply and rationally reflecting on that aspect, you'll not have removed it from your life, which is to say, it's still in you. It's still influencing you, controlling your decision-making. So the second mistake that most men are making these days is to blame other people for how they feel. When you blame someone else, you're at the exact same moment giving away your power to change the circumstances. And you might think that's convenient because you get kicked back and take it easy, but it's not. Your life will only get worse if everyone else has the power over it. You're the only one who can determine what's in your own best interest. And the third and final mistake is one that many men are stuck in these days, wasting time and energy on nonsense, porn, games, junk food, social media, fantasizing about stuff you can't have, working too much. The trouble here is when you do these things, you're draining your physical, emotional, mental energy, making it more and more difficult for you to do what needs to be done. And many of these things that you're wasting your time on are addictive. They get you hooked and turn you into a slave. And slaves don't achieve their goals because, hey, they're not free to do so, are they? So if that's what doesn't work, then what does? As far as living someone else's story about you, well, every story has some truth in it, but there also tends to be a lot of garbage in the way we and others perceive us. So it's critical that you uncover the stories that are running your life, discover the gold in them, and then discard the rest. But really critically, it's really important we don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, the gold. Even if you have some big grudge against an aspect of the culture, you'll find something worth keeping there. So do it consciously or it will still be running you. Also, as far as blaming others is concerned, the way you feel is the way you feel. They're your feelings and no one can make you have them. Yes, there can be triggers, of course, but it's up to you whether they take control. It's on you. But not only that, recognize this. The decisions you've made in your life have led you to exactly where you are right now. So you really have no one else to blame. So own it and move forward in full control. Now, to the third point, think about this. If you spend 3 hours a day scrolling through social media, having pointless conversation, pursuing rubbish goals, that's around 100 hours a month and 1,000 hours a year. So if you were to spend at least even just a tenth of that on productive, energizing, and inspiring things, imagine how much better your life could be. But, and it's a big one, you've got to have a good reason to do any of these things. All the things that you know are good for you, but you really can't be bothered to do. You have to have a good reason to do them. That's where a vision comes in. You need a compelling vision that has you energized to get out of bed in the morning and pursue it, because the benefits of doing so are so great. The downsides of not pursuing it are so clearly dire to you. But the vision needs some structure to it to help us to create something that is objectively good for us over the long term. For this, we turn to philosophy, ideas that have been around for a long time. Old ideas are usually good ones because people have found value in them generation after generation and kept them alive, passed them on. So then let's visualize what a transformation could look like for you. Now, I know discovering your unique life purpose and radically improving your life might seem like some far-off dream, right? But using the framework I'll teach you, every interaction and experience becomes a mini initiation, a step towards the dream. Now, initiation might sound like an intimidating word, but it's honestly much simpler than it might sound. Rather than viewing your life as a series of disconnected, meaningless events, imagine seeing each moment as an opportunity for learning and growth. Your daily routine, your interactions with others, even the challenges that you're facing, they all become positive, transformative experiences. They are your personal rites of passage, guiding you towards self-discovery and personal growth. And the beauty of this approach is that your transformation takes place in the real world in real time. You know, whether you're at work, at home, or even on holiday, every moment is a chance to learn and grow. Each interaction an opportunity for transformation, a step closer to realizing the vision. Now, this approach makes the process of self-discovery and personal growth accessible, tangible, real. And once you've committed to the journey, the next step is to dive in and start transforming your life. So that means no more feeling powerless to change your situation. No more just accepting what other people want you to think and behave like. No more caving to your addictive tendencies and feeling weak and pathetic as a result. Instead, you're feeling inspired, motivated, aligned, and getting on with what needs to be done with a smile on your face. I promise me, you'll see how powerful this is when you start to gain some momentum. So then let's break down the transformational journey that might await you. So you're a man in search of purpose. You're trying to navigate life's complexity, seeking to break through from confusion, repetitive routines, aimlessness. You're ready for a mind-altering purpose journey. Now, with the guidance of the 4 classical elements, earth, air, fire, and water, the coaching process I'm going to take you through will help you to distill and prioritize the areas of your life, bringing clarity to where you need to focus. For each of those priority areas, you identify your best possible outcome and your worst possible outcome so that you have a choice. Sometimes we're going to need the carrot and other times we're going to need the stick, right? Then we need to be clear on exactly what choices are going to lead us to either outcome. Once we're clear on that, we can get moving. And things will go well for a while until, bam, something happens or doesn't happen and we lose motivation and balance. We've got to have a plan to deal with these situations because momentum is critical for long-term sustainable results. You have to recognize this is not an easy stroll. There's no quick fixes or shortcuts, but clarity of direction makes success far more likely and the hard work justifiable. What I'm inviting you into here is a rites of passage of the likes that has more or less disappeared from our society to our detriment, but you can choose to reinvigorate it within your own life and gain the benefits. Not many people are doing this. So the opportunity for greatness right now are vast. Don't miss the opportunity. Through the process, you're going to need courage to confront uncomfortable truths about yourself, untangle from narratives and assumptions and the beliefs that have confined you whilst dismantling energy-draining habits. This all might sound intimidating, but the transformation that follows is worth every effort, I guarantee it. And of course, you could just consider the cost of remaining where you are right now. So imagine instead rising like the phoenix, reborn with an inspiring vision, calm and in control, working toward goals every single day. You're no longer merely existing, but living a life ignited by purpose and passion. Now, you'd be forgiven for thinking, this is amazing, but can I really manage that? Or do I really even have it in me? And fair enough, yeah, it is a challenge, but that's where I come in, okay? I have years of experience in business, martial arts, and professional coaching, helping hundreds of men move toward their life of meaning and purpose. I've honed the tools and the strategies to navigate the journey. I've seen men go from being lazy, addicted losers to being passion business owners, inspiring family men. And I'm offering to guide you on this transformative journey as well, breaking you down and building you back up in an image that resonates with your authentic self. Now, the process is unique to you. It's built around your experiences and your potential. The journey will be tough, but with expert guidance and dedicated commitment, you'll soon hold the keys to a life shaped by purpose and passion. I assure you, Through the transformative process, you will not be alone. I'll be right there with you to support, mentor, and guide. And once everything is said and done, you'll emerge as a more fulfilled, respected, self-aware man living in alignment with his true purpose. But here's the catch, and listen up because this is really important. This is not for everyone. I have 2 very strict requirements that you must meet in order to be eligible for this. Number 1, you must be in a position of responsibility of some kind. So that means you're a father, husband, employee, a business owner, you hold a position in the community, whatever it is, right? In other words, there are areas of your life that are challenging and where you can see room for growth. It's just impossible to have a sense of purpose and meaning in your life without responsibility. So if that's not you, please exit the page right now. I can't help you. Number 2, you must be willing to invest in your personal growth. Now, I'm going to hand you a very powerful roadmap to success, a unique success that works for you. A part of that game plan is going to be investing time and energy into doing things that are uncomfortable. Now, you should get a lot more back than you put in. However, creating the kind of life that you feel amazing about does take effort. So you need to be prepared for that. And if you're not, I definitely cannot help you. Please exit the page now. But if you are a responsible person, you are serious about getting to a point where you wake excited for the day, spending time with people you love, doing things that are deeply fulfilling, and you're willing to invest in what it takes for us to make that happen for you, then click the button on the page. You'll be taken to a very short application. You'll fill that out, and then you'll be taken to a calendar page. Choose whatever appointment time works for you, and I'll call you at that time to make sure that you're fit for this. And if you are, we can take care of the investment to work with me, and we can get started right away, identifying the vision of a successful life for you and a plan to help you to get there. Now, for my clients, clicking that button and booking that call was a life-changing decision. Let me tell you about Jean-Michel. He was a property developer here in the UK. I was with him as he transitioned from having a few properties lined up with a comfortable 5-figure business to starting a passion business with 7 to 8-figure potential in the next few years. Or Brett, who discovered his aptitude for bringing people together and helping them find balance through his own life coaching business. And Jonathan, who discovered his unique voice, which took him to new heights as an executive business director. All 3 of them were complete newbies when they started working with me. So I know that if you're first starting out on this route of personal development, the idea of living a life filled with purpose and meaning might sound crazy and out of reach. I mean, you might be just saying, David, mate, all I want is more intimacy, money, freedom in my life. But the good news is the way you are right now is exactly where Jean, Brett, and Jonathan were, and countless others were when they first came to work with me. I mean, don't get me wrong, they weren't incompetent people at all, but they certainly had some room for growth, as we all do, and they didn't know how to move forward effectively. So I helped them to use the exact same framework we've discussed, and everything started to improve. They had more energy, more focus, drive, they started to earn money, they had better love lives, and it just kept getting better from there. So that's why I'm so confident this can work for you too. But really, the best proof I have is in my own life. This framework is the backbone of the results that I've achieved myself, going from being a lazy, addicted loser to being a dedicated husband and father running several passion businesses. And I can showcase similar results with hundreds of men I've worked with. You can and will benefit from it too. I've proven this plenty of times. So now I want to put that same strategy to work for you. So click the button on the page, book that free call, and let's decide whether you're ready to commit to a life of purpose or not. I'm David Schofield. Book that free call. I look forward to seeing you there.